You may have seen in the news, looking at the BBC website here, Prophet Muhammad cartoon sparks Batley Grammar School protest. A teacher who showed pupils an inappropriate cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad sparking protests outside a school has been suspended. The image depicting the founder of Islam was used in a lesson at Batley Grammar School on Monday. And there are now a lot of people protesting against the school, and the government has said it was never acceptable to intimidate teachers. The teacher has been suspended, but there have been nasty threats made, apparently, against the school, against the teacher. And this raises a whole bunch of issues, which is kind of reason why I'm doing this video, just to get it off my chest. Now, there are lots of issues here. So, first of all, why are Muslims so sensitive about their religion? This is the point that's been made on social media. What about this cartoon? Now, I've not seen this cartoon. Has anyone seen this cartoon outside of that classroom? How can I possibly judge if this cartoon is offensive if no one has seen it apart from 5 people who are in that classroom? So I don't know. I don't know the context. I mean, what was the context? What was the teacher intending to do? Was he intending to instruct them, help them? Was he being prejudiced? Was he being a bigot? What's going on there? I don't know the inside story. So it's all kind of media hype at the moment. What's the reason why don't Muslims want the picture of Muhammad or any other prophet shown? Well, let's talk about that too. Not wanting to depict human figures, because once you have that impression in your mind of a human being, the temptation is to venerate and worship them as opposed to God, who is unseen, who we don't depict. So there is a concern there about, and a prohibition, I understand, in Islam, of portraying prophets in case people fall into idolatry, as indeed many allege that Christians have in worshipping Jesus and Mary. But why are Muslims so sensitive about their religion? Well, because Muslims tend to be religious. Unlike most Christians and Jews, Christians say the Church of England, people tend to be quite happy to roll over and let people mock their faith, and just to prove that they're jolly good sports, and they don't mind having their faith rubbished and satirized and ridiculed. And I've actually heard Christians say this over and over again. Muslims, however, take their religion really seriously. Now, is that a bad thing? Well, what is religion? Well, religion is about, many people would argue, the most important thing there is in life. It's to do with why we're here, the meaning of life, God, our relationship with human beings, the life after death. It is for Muslims who have not been secularized, like virtually all other people have, Christians and Jews and others, the most important thing. And so maybe it's a healthy attitude to actually be sensitive about it because it's so important. So maybe, that's I think also, as a general rule, in the UK and in the West, I think, we have lost a sense of the sacred. There are new sacred cows that we can't criticise now, we can't mock, we can't in any way depict in a negative way. There are plenty of things in our society you're not permitted to take the piss out of now. LGBTQ or whatever it is. There's a growing list of things that we cannot be critical of, we cannot mock, we cannot say anything negative about. So when Muslims get upset at cartoons, can't they too have their red lines that we cannot cross? Why can't they, who have this idea of faith being supremely important in life, also have a right to say, we don't want cartoons that allegedly depict Muhammad? Is it because he's depicted as such, or is depicted in a way that's offensive? And I'm not clear, because I don't know what's really going on. So I think there's an element on social media that are talking about the free speech aspects of this and how we should be free in our society to criticise religion. Well, are these same people happy to take the mickey out of all the other sacred cows that we can't talk about in our society anymore? Because to do so, you will lose your job, you will be vilified, you'll be criticised and damned, or even prosecuted for saying forbidden things. But overcome the Muslims, no, we should have open season, and we should be able to mock their faith and criticise it to death because, hey, we believe in freedom, except for all the other things we don't allow to be criticised. I mean, what on earth's going on here? So I think if there have been threats issued by Muslim parents, I don't know, the BBC suggests there have been, then that is clearly wrong. I think of the Prophet Muhammad's life himself when he was walking around, I forget where it was, but people threw stones or rubbish at him, and he didn't respond by cursing people, cursing his enemies. He dealt with it very differently. And if Muslims are following the sunnah of the Prophet, they should perhaps be more patient and more forbearing. I don't mean that they should be like Christians and say, bring it on, mock our faith. But I think making threats, if that has been done, death threats or threats of violence or intimidation, is not the way it should be done. It should be done in a different way without compromising the importance of faith. So, this is really dangerous moment for Muslims in Britain, because it looks, to many people, it looks bad. It looks as if Muslims are getting teachers fired because they criticise a religion, and that kind of really rankles a lot of British people. But I think it exposes our hypocrisy, that we can't criticise a whole raft of things, but people are saying, no, we can criticise Muslims. And also, we need to learn from Muslims here. They take faith so seriously. They get upset when people, allegedly, mock and criticise. That's actually a good thing. To be upset about something that's really important and noble to life is a normal, healthy thing, I argue. Not to be upset when God is mocked, or when Jesus is mocked and satirized, and terrible things, in the name of art, the things that have been depicted of Jesus in art galleries are appalling. And same for Mary, mother of Jesus, and so on. We shouldn't tolerate that either, because faith is the highest form of human expression towards our Creator, and that's the one thing really that should be protected. I am in favour of blasphemy laws myself. If we can have laws protecting same-sex marriage and all sorts of other interesting lifestyles, then we should have laws protecting the honour of the prophets of God, whether they be Jewish or Christian or Muslim, of course. So why are Muslims so sensitive about their religion? Well, it's because they're serious about faith. And that's something that the British people have lost, I think, this sense of the importance of faith. And we need to learn from Muslims about that. But we shouldn't react in a hostile and violent way. We should react with patience, but a steely determination not to be overcome by secularism, which wants to push faith out of the public square and make it a private thing that no one sees in public. That's not faith. That's Western secularism, which seeks to basically obliterate faith from society. And that's something that Muslims should rightly resist, as too should Christians, as too should Jews, because faith, in my view, is absolutely central to the human species. We are made, as I showed in a previous video, to be people who worship our Creator. We're not meant to be consumers and people who indulge in alternative lifestyles. Our primary purpose on life is to connect with our God and to live in a way that is pleasing to Him. And we, of course, lost that completely in the West. We're very much preoccupied with the dunya, the transient. Anyway, so that's my rant. That's my sermon, and I just finished by saying I don't know what's going on at that school. I've not seen I've not spoken to the teacher. I've not seen him being interviewed. I've not seen the cartoon. I've not seen anyone interviewed who actually saw it and described their reaction. It just seems to be a media circus around rumour and gossip and speculation, and it's triggering all those people who hate Islam or hate Muslims, and it's kind of triggering all sorts of things. But there are some really serious issues involved here, which these kinds of incidents invite us to consider afresh the role of faith in society, and why some people are so passionate about faith, and why we are not, as a country, anymore taking faith seriously. And I think that is the supreme question here, is our loss of faith and the way the sacred has been, we've lost a sense of the sacred in our lives. Anyway, enough for now. Till next time.